Hi everyone, it's Lisa here, and I'm back with the sixth video. Woo, I can't do six. There, six. This is the sixth video for the beginning or getting into art journaling. And this series is all about trying to use what you have in your stash. So I feel like when you're getting into art journaling, you shouldn't invest a lot of money in it. You should be able to find or use stuff you already have. Now, just a little bit of background. I started out as a scrapbooker, so I have, as you can tell by my room here, I have an exorbitant amount of stuff. So if you come from the scrapbooking world or even the card making world, you probably have a lot of this stuff already in your stash. If you don't, I'm pretty sure you could kind of ingeniously figure out ways to either find or use different products to kind of get the same results. So today we are going to actually, first of all, let me just say, if you are new here and you haven't or not sure where we are at, again, this is the sixth video. We've already talked about our art journals. We've talked about mediums, paints, watercolors, all that tools. So if you haven't seen those other videos, you might want to check those out first or check those out later, because I kind of go into a lot of detail on each particular subject. So the whole idea of this video series is just to kind of get you thinking of things that you could use that you might already have. I do kind of give you ideas of things that I like or things that I've tried that I really like and I feel like I get a really good result with them. So whether or not you purchase them, that's all up to you. So today we are going to talk about stamps and maybe pens or writing or some sort of tools like that. So the first thing about stamps is I feel you use whatever you have, and I know I've said that over and over and over again, and I feel if you came from the scrapbooking world or card making world, you probably already have stamps that will work in your favor rather than going out and investing a whole bunch. So I'm going to talk first about some scrapbooking stamps or card making stamps that you could use that you probably already have. So if you come from scrapbooking, you've probably seen these wood alpha blocks. Those are really nice for creating alpha or even just kind of like an alpha collage on your background. So these are nice. I always feel like you should have like an alpha or numbers or something like that as a stamp set. With alphas, you can create your own titles rather than finding a word with the font that you want. It's a lot easier to kind of make your own words. So that is one, and I'm going to open this one up because it's backwards. This is the Dilutions Alpha. I got this from Hobby Lobby, but it has like a nice kind of funky font, I would say. So, and these are on a, these are like a polymer, I believe. Are they polymer or acrylic? Doesn't say. Not that it matters, but you need a block for those, which I mentioned in the tool video. So those ones you can, again, create with your own alpha. If you are hoarding these, like me, I have lots of alphas that came from scrapbooking. So these are the Stepping Stone alphas from Studio Calico. So you might have something like this in your stash. I'm just showing you some ideas. As well as I really do like to have a big alpha set. Now, I used to actually be a, what do you call it, representative, or what do you call it? People who sell close to my heart. That's what I used to do. I used to do that. So I got these, and these are like a giant alpha. They're probably, I don't know, roughly about 1.5 to 2 inches tall. They're quite big. And I feel like if I want a dramatic title, I can use these. So even if you don't have these, you might even, have something in your stash for a stamp. But these are really, really nice to have. So these are awesome for creating your own title. Not that you have to. There's no rule that says you have to have a title on your art journal page. There's no rule that says you have to have a quote on your page. There's no rule that says you have to journal your feelings on the page. No, if you want to just have the actual physical art on your page and it's how you feel in the moment and you just got whatever, you just wanted to play or you got your feelings out in art, then that is what an art journal is. If you journaled on your page and you got your feelings out, or even if you just don't want to get your feelings out, there's lots of times when I'm just art journaling and I'm just in the moment. I just want to play. I just want to play with a product. I want to feel it. I want to touch it. I want to, just create. And to me, most of the time, that is art journaling for me. I just feel like whatever I'm feeling on the inside, I work through the process through art. I don't necessarily go, I'm feeling this. Sometimes I do, but for the most part, I feel like my feelings are getting out in with my fingertips while I'm playing with the paint. I feel like that's my therapy. So, not to say that I don't, but I think you understand what I'm saying. So, I just wanted to rant a little bit, I guess. So, again, you could use these alphas for creating your own title. We're going to talk a little bit about background stamps now. There's a lot of background stamps that you can pick from. Some of these I know are from Hero Arts. I don't know the name of them. As you can see, like there's nothing on it. So this is a really nice text one, which I think is upside down. And I think it's just thankful or thankful text or something like that. And it's really nice to just add like that little bit of text background to your layout. So something like that. And this I totally got as a card making thing. This is another Hero Arts one. This is a music note one. That's really nice for a background image, just for creating some a pattern in the background. There's like chevron. There's nothing on the backside. There's this one I got from Studio Calco, which is like this funky little disc thing, which is totally what that disc that from that Mix Your Media kit, that's exactly what it looks like. So that is another fun stamp. This one is another fun stamp from Studio Calco. Kind of looks like that Punchinella. So those are all kind of good background stamps. Here's another one, which is really old. This is from Stampin' Up. I don't even have the name on it. But it's this kind of swirly script stamp. So those all create this dramatic kind of very, very subtle hint of a background on your page. And it's almost like things are peeking through and everybody's like, well, where's the rest of it? As it kind of like get that little hint of it. So those are fun images to play with. Also for background, there's these fun little rollers. So I'm going to show you this one first. This is from Glitz Design and it has these little triangles on it. That creates some fun texture. Even if you did these, your stamps or your background stamps in texture paste, as long as it's not something overly detailed, you can create a lot of texture that way. That's another thing you could do with your stamps is stamp them into like gesso, and you could get that kind of impression of the stamp into the gesso. Just want to make sure you clean your stamps off really well. There's these two little rollers. I shouldn't say two. One's really big and one's really small. These are from American Crafts. I believe it's the DIY collection. This one has little hearts on it. I'm not sure if you can see that. And then you can just literally pop out that one and then put this one on, and it's now a chevron. So you can see that. So those create a lot of fun texture in the background. Then we have these two rollers. Again, this one is just dots, and then this one is just stripes. So again, you could put this into gesso and just create some fun little texture in the background, or you could put it on with paint. There's a lot of things that you can do with just background stamps alone. So those are a couple options for you. Then even just like stamps like these, like there's this Prima set that has this text, this kind of type text, or even just these little coffee mugs. You could, kind of stamp them out, color them in, and put them on an art journal page. Anything goes when it comes to art journaling. So if you see an image and you like it, and say if it's like a cutesy little girl and you color her in and you do this beautiful background page, is there anything wrong with that? No, it's beautiful. It's whatever you feel you can make with your stamps or your art. You could use like a Polaroid frame and put like a whole bunch of Polaroid frames on top of it. There's just so many things that you can do. So don't feel like what I'm telling you is law. When it comes to art journaling, there really are no rules. There's nobody going to tell you that you can't do that, you can't do this. You can do it, and just try it. And if it's not what you like, then you know not to do that and try something else. So I also have all these stamps here, which these are more like my art journaling stamps. These are kind of the ones that I go to quite a bit. Now, I have to also explain that I really, really prefer red rubber stamps over acrylic stamps when it comes to art journaling. I feel like the red rubber stamps give a really good image when you're stamping something onto the page, and especially when you get a lot of texture and paint on the page, you get a very uneven surface. And when you are stamping with an acrylic block, it's very much rigid. It's really hard to kind of make it work. If I want to make sure that my stamp is going to be really good, I won't even use a stamp block, even with the red rubber, and I'll just lay it down and just kind of press my hand along and just do it that way. So that's something else you might want to do if you're having a little bit of a struggle with stamping your image and you're not getting a perfect image. It could be because your image or your background is too textured. So I have quite a few different options for art journaling. If you're wanting to invest the money into art journaling stamps, there's of course Dina Wakley. This one's coming out. She has these stamps with these girls on it. This is just the only Dina Wakley stamp that I have. I know Diane Reevely has some really funky ones. These are very, very abstract. Dina Wakley and Diane Reevely are very abstract or very artsy kind of images. It just depends on what you want. So, you know, I only have one Dina Wakley. Not to say anything about her, just lots of her stamps are just not my style. So, then of course there is Tim Holtz. So there's a lot of his stamps that you can use. Lots of texture background stamps. This one's always coming off, but there's like this butterfly one that has a really nice background texture stamp. Oh, just wait. I don't think I showed this one really close up. This is the Dina Wakley one. There's this Paris one, which that I use a lot for art journaling. It just kind of creates a lot of texture in the background. So those are just some. I'm not going to pull them all out. There's also these ones that have quotes on them. I really like quotes because sometimes I'm looking for that little special something to put on top of my art journal page. I'm just not sure what it is, and these ones are already done for you. I don't have to look for anything. I just go here. So that's another thing you might already have in your stashes with stamps. For card making, you might already have a really nice sentiment stamp in with your cards. So that's another thing that you could use. I'm just flipping through. These ones are by Stampendous. These ones are very artsy. Can't really see them very well, but they are kind of like a coffee one. Now, I have to give a special shout out to the company that has taken a lot of my money over the last little while, and I totally blame the fact that they send me these convenient little emails telling me of all these sales that they keep having. So, I love their stamps though. So this is Unity Stamp. If you haven't already heard of them, they are an amazing company. They have sales all the time. So I say if you're looking for a stamp and you want to kind of get it, wait till it's on sale because they always go on sale. So here is some of the ones that you can get from them. These are just some of my favorites. This one's like Giving It All Meaning. and it's got like just this definition terms on it. These ones is like a chicken wire. Oops, let me try that again. So there's the chicken wire one. And then Donna Downey also has stamps made through them, and then this is like one of her art and possibility ones, so it has a lot of art sentiments on there. And here's like another quote one that you can get. I'm just trying to find some image stamps. So then you get into Donna Downey, and she creates these amazing, amazing image stamps. So I would say, as you're getting into it, try, you know, doing the background images, and try, you know, the sentiment images, which you probably already have in your stash. If you were looking for something a little bit more, you can definitely get into these image stamps. However, if you don't feel like you want to invest the money into these, they can get a little bit pricey. You most certainly can either print an image out onto some printer paper and print it on. There's a way to do an image transfer. You can always do that as well. And that would be another way that you can kind of get that stamped kind of image without spending a lot of money. So there is ways around it if you do kind of like this stamped like image. The other thing I was going to say is it's kind of nice to have also a focal image, although I don't use these stamps as often. Sometimes I do like to have a stamped image. So as you can see, this is one of them. What's her name? Avery. But don't go by the package because she's quite big. So she's, I don't know, that big. She's like, I don't know, there's the size of my hand. So she's like bigger than my hand. These are very expensive stamps. I get them on sale whenever they go, or whenever they go on sale at Unity. There's a couple other ones if you're looking at drawing faces, but you can't draw faces. Those are really good ones to get. And again, you can see it's quite big. This is the large one. There is a small one. So you can see she's quite big. So if you don't want to actually draw a face, you could attain that by just getting a stamp. So, but I don't say just go out and buy a face stamp. Try what you have first. So those are some things that I think you could definitely start off with stamps. Just try and find like either the background images or like a focal image. Like I said, you could even, you know, take like, if you had like a stamp of sailboats, you could stamp out some sailboats and use those on an art journal page. There's like a ton of things that you can do. So don't feel like you have to buy the artsy stamps or you have to buy the artsy background stamps. Use what you have. So with that being said, I'm hoping we can just roll right into pens and it won't take too long. Now, when it comes to pens, you can use them either for journaling or you can use them for actually, you know, kind of creating fine detail or coloring in stuff. It just depends on what kind of pens that you have. So we're going to start basic stamps, or basic pens. We're going to talk about just like a black pen, a white pen. What I typically use for a black pen is these Faber-Castell Artist Pitt pens. The reason why I like these is because they have India ink in them, and this one's an S tip, so I think that means super fine tip. And they write really nice over a lot of mediums. The thing is you want to make sure your paint or your medium is 100% dry before you know, write over top of it. So these are really, really nice for a lot of detail, and they are permanent when they dry. Another nice white pen. White pens are really nice over dark surfaces is the, not this one. I really like this one. This is the Signo Uniball white pen. This is in a gel, and it's a pigment ink in here. I did not know why I was having problems with it until I watched a Diane Reevely video the other day. And she said you need to make sure your paint is 100% dry. So even just leave it overnight and your white pen will go over top of it really nicely. So she said like the core might not be dry and it's just not going through, which I've had problems with. So I'm going to take her word for it and make sure your stuff is completely dry before you move on with the white pen. So those are a couple other pens. The Inktense white pen is also another one that I have. And then there's also this jelly roll, which is full of paint. You can't even see the name of it. So there's a couple white pens. Also, if you do not have a black pen and you do not have a white pen, you most certainly could use black paint and white paint if you are really awesome at drawing with a paintbrush and paint. And if you do, I'm really jealous of you because I'm not that good at it. There's also other paints or pens that you can use. Again, there's like these, anything like a Project Life pen to, you know, any kind of pen. There's like even these Sharpie fine point pens that come in different colors. I've used those before as well. The other thing that you could get, and it writes over top of anything, I really like it. I'm just trying to find them. There are these food ball pens, which I've talked about before, and they're F-U-D-E is how you spell them. Ah, there it is. So they come in black, blue, and red, I believe. So this is the black one. Writes over top of anything really, really well. It is a little bit of a wider point. So I'm just going to draw a heart. So you can see it writes over top of anything really smoothly. But these are water-based. So if you go over top of this with water, it will run, which I found out the hard way. So that is the only hiccup with these. Otherwise, I do like them. It says water and fade proof. Didn't work for me. So I'm just saying. Either it wasn't dry or it just didn't work. It didn't work. So, but they write over top of anything. So if you want that as your finishing touch, they work awesome. You don't even have to go that expensive. You can get, this is like a bag of Sharpies. They come in just like the, what do you call it? The fine point, and then I think it's like the ultra fine point. So there's the ones here that have like the super fine tip like that. You can see that. And then you get into the fine point, which looks like that. So I've even used these on art journal pages, or even just to take with me on the go if I want to just kind of doodle while I'm in the car or something like that. They will probably bleed through on some of the pages that, well, they have bled through on some of the pages that I've been working on, but I don't really care. It's just like, you know what, it's fun when I'm doing it, so I just leave it alone. But I do like the Sharpie pens. They'll go over top of anything and they're permanent, so that's what I do like about them. There's a couple other pens we're going to get into that you might not have in your stash, but they are something to kind of maybe consider. So the first one is the Artist Big Brush pens. These are full of indie ink and they are permanent when they are dry. And when you go over top of them with gesso, you do have a little bit of play time with them so that you can blend them out. I'm just going to show you, they have like a brush tip, which is what they say. And if I show you on top of this, I can go and I can just blend it out a little bit. But if I was just to write that line and just leave it to dry, it would stay like that. And you don't have a lot of time, but you have probably enough time to just draw a line down and blend it out if you need to. So these are really nice. You can also use them on top of your stamps. When I say use them on top of your stamp, you don't go like this. You actually take your brush and go to the side and you just kind of like brush it over top of your stamped image. And then I'm just going to stamp that, and you can see that it makes a really nice stamped image. So these are really nice. They come in a lot of colors. So I'm just going to show you, those are the ones that I have. I don't have a huge collection, but they are really nice. They also have these were the smaller ones, so they come in the same colors but in the smaller brush as well. Another thing to kind of consider, and it's going to help you out in a long ways, and I know you can get them readily, easily, is the Sharpie paint pens. These are pretty much anywhere. I've seen them anywhere. Anywhere. I've seen them from Walmart to Michael's to anywhere. And these are really nice. They are, I think they're oil-based. I'm not sure. Yes, they are oil-based. So they take a little bit longer to dry, but when they are dry and they leave a really, really nice white line, I'm going to hope that this one is primed. You kind of have to like push down on them to prime them and shake them, which I hardly ever do. Let me just see. So it's probably going to run because it's drippy. If I show you, and this one's dirty. Okay, so I'm going to show you this white pen on this particular piece. So if I show you, I'm just going to draw a heart. I have to draw it my way. I'm really bad at drawing upside down. You can see that it goes over top of that paint really well. And the more you go over top of it, the whiter it's going to get. And they make this a black and tons of other colors as well. So you can see there's the Sharpie black paint pen, and it's got a fine point on it. You can, I think if they even make them a finer point than this, like ultra fine or something like that. Then there's also these Montana paint pens. I know Liquitex makes these paint pens as well. It's the same idea. You're just going to get more of a marker-like tip, and the paint comes out of here amazingly. I'm just going to show you. There's another heart there. And they write amazing, and these are refillable, so don't throw them out. They are a little bit on the pricier side, but I find it's really hard to find a white paint pen that can do things that paint can, or not a white paint pen, but like a white pen that will do things that I want a white paint to do. So I usually go for the white paint in the pen versus a white gel pen. So that's just a little heads up. And again, they make them in tons of colors. There's black, there's like these neon colors, which are really cool looking. And they also make them in a wider tip. These are like a chisel tip. Ugh. These are like a chisel tip, so you can see like they're quite wide. So I can use them a couple different ways. I can go like this to make a wide line, or I can go like this to make a narrow line. I can even go on this little tip here and make a super fine line. So I'm just going to show you. There's like on the edge, there's like the chisel, and then there's like this way. So you can see there's lots of things that you can do with those pens. And again, these are all refillable, so don't throw them out. Your art store will probably have refills for them. So that's, oh, there's one more thing I wanted to share with you. Now, these are brand new on the market. I haven't seen them anywhere else, and I just want to mention them because I think they are amazing. So I would say if you are, you know, okay with spending the money and you've got to this point where you've used the Sharpie paint pens and you've used the football pens and stuff like that, and you want to kind of add a little bit of something else to your itinerary or your inventory of art journaling, these are, let me just show you the package because I ripped the package off the other ones. These are Derwent line painters. They are the graphic brand, and they are amazing pens. I cannot tell you how excited I was when I found especially this white pen. And they all come in sets. This is set number 4. I think I have set 2 and 3 or something like that. So what you have to do is, it's just like a paint pen. You actually have to push down on it to prime it. You have to shake it a little bit. You can hear the little ball in here, but I want to show you So you can see this. I'm going to draw just like really quick words. So I hope you can see that. And again, I probably don't have it primed enough. There we go. Okay, so I just had to prime it a little bit more. So let me grab another tag. So you can see if I write like there, you can see that white paint. I hope you can see that. So it writes like really awesome. Let me just... Okay, so I just had to prime that pen just a little bit. I'm just going to write something really quickly. I can't hold it up and show you because otherwise the paint goes like this and it doesn't want to write. But I'm just going to write something, and I'm just going to put create art something 2015 or something. And you can see that it's really fine detailed white paint in there. This is the package that has the black, the silver, the light gray, and the dark gray. And they write amazing. This is the other package that has like kind of like the hot pink, the yellow. I'm going to show you the teal because I love teal. Just show you. And you can just see how thin they write. And because they are paint inside the pen, they are going to be permanent over top. And they're going to write over top of anything. So this is the last set, which has like teal in there as well, which is a different teal. So those are some pens that you could definitely put into your wish list for later on. They are a little bit of a pricier point. I think they're roughly around $25 to $30. So you might want to invest in those later, just for the fact that you could do a lot of fine line doodling or do a lot of journaling with them and not worry about what's underneath it. So there's lots of fun things that you can do with them. So there's a lot of things that you can use for writing. You can use a paintbrush for writing. You can use ink with paint, I should say, for writing. There's a ton of things that you can do for journaling on your art journals. So I hope that answered quite a few questions on stamps and art journals, or on the pens or writing items for art journaling. If you have any questions, please post them below and I will definitely get to them. And if anybody else has any ideas or feedback on stamps or on pens, please leave them below and that will help everybody else out as well. And if you like this video series, please give it a thumbs up and boost it in the ratings, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!